you're calling millions of Kenyans mad.
Yeah.
And these are millions of Kenyans who most probably don't have jobs. They are barely surviving.
Yep.
So they have every reason to be angry.
Exactly.
And they have every reason to be mad.
Thank you. If that's a madness they're talking about, so be it. So be it.
Unaita madness. Alafu, hii, kwani una feel ni kama hataki kuteka accountability?
Masking themselves up when they're out there. They haven't stopped. In a good space where we follow the law, Murkomen shouldn't be walking around right now. Should have stepped down. Iko Nini.
Episode 481. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Na leo tuko na Maureen Waititu. And lazima niulize, no relation ama nachuaneza kwa niweka hapa na mtoto yao? Sinajua kuna baba yao.
Kuna baba yao, but mimi si mtoto yao.
Yeah.
Different Waititu altogether.
That name is such a rare name, ama?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because I think before baba yao, I'd never had that name.
Yeah.
So vile nakumbuka the first time nikikucheki, niko nafikiria lazima kue.
There's that assumption. It was so funny when baba yao went to prison, Paula, to the family.
Yes.
People are DMing me and they're like, I'm so sorry about your dad. I'm like, what? That's not my father.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're actually people who believe I'm the daughter. So sometimes I'll get like a stray comment, like, rudisha pesa yetu. I'm like, huh? Oh, then it hits me, Waititu. But no. Yeah, it's not that Waititu.
Like how many of Waititus exist? Because I think nyi wawili tu ndo najua. Najua huo buda.
Yeah.
Na kujua, alafu it ends there. And this is after kuishi Nairobi for how many years? Interact with like 1 million people. Kikuyus.
Yeah.
But why is it such a rare name?
Let me tell you, first of all, myself being a Waititu, I think I know 2 or 3 others, not more.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, maybe my dad was born by the forest.
Yeah.
I don't know the origin, and I don't know any other person with the name apart from me and him.
Na iko na any meaning hiyo jina? Amanyi majina zenye zinaga?
Waititu, no, Waititu is a different way of saying msitu. Basically forest.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes you can nickname someone like Forest.
Waititu.
Yeah, this DJ Foro, he's nice guy, nice Andrew Waititu. He's my other friend. We are people who mistake me to be like the small sister or something. But I don't know, it's such a rare name.
Yeah. It's a rare name kabisa. Alafu of course, nachikigi uli study law. Do you actually practice it ama?
No.
Why not?
So when I was in Kenya School of Law, I became pregnant with my firstborn.
Okay.
So I was, the following year, when I went for my pupillage, it was so difficult to do it with a newborn.
Okay.
So by the time I was recovering, actually when I was in the law firm, I used to do other work, business, and I've always been a model. So I would model, just to make the ends meet.
Yes.
And I was constantly sick, every day sick. Like my back would hurt. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Then the doctor was like, whatever you're doing, if anything happens to you, they'll replace you the same day. So please look out for yourself. Ever since I've done everything else, but I've not gone to practice. Maybe I might. I'm actually thinking about it.
But ulimaliza pupillage?
Nilimaliza.
Nafikiri you pulled an Ahmed Nasir.
No. I was there for a year, 7 months in the law firm.
Yeah. Okay. But umegetio my lame joke about Ahmed Nasir.
Nimeona Ahmed Nasir. Uko na lawyer?
Ayo ndaita tu have it to the stand.
Well.
Yeah, walikuwa ninjua na have about that. So is this rheumatoid arthritis. The funny thing about it is I always hear it on like easy ads the states.
Yeah.
Rheumatoid arthritis. What is it about?
So it's first of all, arthritis. People think that arthritis is only for old people.
Yeah.
So rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease which affects ligaments. Very common with women and girls, as long as they're in their reproductive age. Yeah, and you just have to maintain it like any other chronic illness. Yeah, but I've been doing very well.
So now you're on medication?
No. got off medication. I had to clean up because you see it's an inflammation. Your diet must change. The way you move must change. You've seen I've lost a lot of weight as well. Weight is an enemy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so any trigger, like any other thing, even diabetes, if you eat well and you get your shots, you live like a very normal life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So diet will get rid of, I'm assuming, sugar, Ama?
Of course. Sugar
has to
wheat.
go.
I was like, I'm not sure. Mafunaka kukula nini your vegetables alone.
This is fun enough. Mudishi utafanya mafanswa Andrew Kibe waseme si Andrew alisema. Mudishi nyama. Like right now what I've decided is I've gone more of the protein.
Yeah.
Whatever. But sasa before I take like wheat, normally cheat day yangu sasa ni Sunday.
Yeah.
Before ni take we had this bodybuilder, unajua Gashao?
Yes.
And Gashao was like, you need to take berberine. So nowadays what I do is I take berberine, but not just berberine with apple cider. So you know the apple cider.
Oh my goodness. Nikali.
So I take it, but one thing I've noticed, it actually, the blood sugar hairuki.
Nice.
Yeah. So the fact that blood sugar hairuki, alafu it's like once a week, I'm good with that.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes just find your soft spot, move with it. For me, I really like a lot of even anything, homa, any illness, it's as a result of what we consume. Yeah, so sometimes you have to find that sweet spot.
Okay, so now what else did you get rid of? So there's wheat, there's of course sugar, so no soda, no, but juice unachukua ama pia umetoa?
My goodness, rarely. In
even fact, if it's fresh fruits?
Maybe, but rarely because also with the fruit juices, unless you can see the sauce, you might not know. Yeah, there's also alcohol. You can drink, but very like a glass of wine won't hurt. What else? I'm allergic to eggs, so I'm very, very safe with pastries. So I don't take pastries. I don't care about pastries. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and just including like proper meat. Like me, I love my meat. I love my chicken, my fish, my beef, pork, everything. Yeah.
Ajua nini pole but huko iko nini vile umesema hivyo iko finish the sentence. Okay. So there's that. So now like and vile umesema jua how you walk, what does this mean, like exercise ama what happens?
You have to move. You have to move. Actually, exercise is just moving your body. You don't have to go and become a waiter. Your body is just moving the body. If you have your lunch, walk for 5 minutes. Before you go to bed, stretch, just move. Because we've become so sedentary. When you think about it, you can move around the whole town. And if you're driving and you look at the steps you've taken, it's scary.
Kidogo.
Yes. So, and then I did a procedure last year, May. It's called a gastric sleeve, GSV. Gastric sleeve, where they go in and cut part of your stomach. They take it out, and it's really helped me in terms of even consumption. Sometimes I can go for hours without feeling hungry. And when you think about it, just imagine the whole day, say you're in studio. Morning to evening, you're off to edit, but you're eating the 2,000 calories. It's not going anywhere. So now I've been on deficit completely. I feel energetic. I'm alert. Of course, I take my supplements as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need so much. Supplements. First of all, magnesium. Let me tell you, magnesium is such a super, super supplement.
Yes, okay.
Helps you sleep so well. So it's best if you take it at night when you're going to bed, and then now the regular multivitamins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kitu funny ni I always joke with my wife, mumpe na kumenjoy hivyo, listen to your husband. So before I convinced her to take magnesium, because nilikuwa kana magnesium and zinc, and I'd take them and I'd go into zile deep sleep kabisa.
Yes.
Alafu I didn't even know that was the reason. Then kuna siku na cheki evil. So evil health.
Yes.
And she'd written everything she takes, and then she talked about magnesium and zinc. And I was like, kumbe, this is the reason.
Yeah.
Because I think mainly, I don't know why I was taking it, but there's a time I decided, let me just get a bunch of these things.
Yes.
So because me, one problem that I've had is my back, my lower back.
Ooh.
And this is ever since ni anza kufanya podcast.
Yes,
Mwambe
yes.
gatu,
Yeah.
like the first days, it was just the two of us.
Yes.
Kwa mimi
Yes.
na DJ Zak. So siku za kwanza, DJ Zak was doing the editing. Then at some point I took over. So now when I took over, what would happen is mina ujinga yangu, I'd sit on some plastic seat.
Yeah.
I just edit and edit. I ended up messing my back.
Dangerous, yeah.
So by the time tunafika E-level, now I have a bad back. But now the interesting thing is I was watching this guy. He's a friend of the show. Most of you namjua. Eric Mtiso.
Yeah.
Eotwe.
Yes.
And he had Farid Kimani. And Farid was talking about how he messed up his back. And also
Yeah.
they need it with diet. And what? Ilikuwa ni diet, exercise, and for him now meditation.
Okay.
And he's in his 50s. So I'm like, I think I can solve
And
this.
his structure is proper.
I just need to maintain diet, cut sugar as much as possible.
Yeah. And also like be at the right weight. Yeah? Marv, I can tell you I've lost 27 kgs. In reality, I want you to think of that 20-liter mutungi and another 10 liters. You've been carrying that thing everywhere. So everything hurts. Your feet, your ankles, your hips, your back. And then now you don't like supplement your lifestyle with exercise, movement, stretching and all that. Yeah, you won't last long.
But sasa nini, the other thing to look at is majuzi too, there was the headlines of the woman who went for a procedure and it just went horrible. Nakumbuka?
Yes.
It was something, a beauty clinic. What was it called?
Are we supposed to nini?
Yeah, we can. See,
Body by design.
yes. Okay. Body by design. Allegedly. Okay. So, you didn't feel that fear? Because I'm always afraid. I always say that hapa Kenya kabla upasuliwe na mtu and you don't know what they're going to do. Because I remember the husband talking about how it reached a level where she was thinking. She was like rotting from the inside.
No.
So, first of all, procedure ulifanya wapi?
So, Nairobi bariatrics are the ones who carry on with anything to do with weight loss. But then they have this Dr. Noel Patrick, an amazing doctor who's been in the industry, I think, for over 20 years. But so Nairobi Bariatric is just a consultation firm, but they use, it's called what, Nairobi South. I don't want to say the wrong hospital. I think Nairobi South, actually around here.
Yeah, Nairobi South, the Copper South Sea. Yeah.
Yes. But before the procedures, and this is why I wasn't afraid, they take their time from the very beginning to the end. So you have to test for everything. You have to have an ECG to see if your heart can take it. Then lots of preparation, and you meet the entire team. I don't know. I don't have that fear, to be honest.
Okay. Because nishandaga nini Nairobi South. Because Koko South Sea, I think the two hospitals. I always shout them out because I'm like, I don't have to be paid for anything. Yeah. Some things are just good. Kuna kuga na Nairobi South. Na kuna ingine to Reliance. To me, they are some of the best hospitals. Nishaenda ikikam to professionalism, cleanliness, and it also shows you. I always credit the Somali community for investing in health and going all out. So kuna hiyo. And like procedure kayo si expensive sana? Like how much is it compared to kwenda kwa gym? So niko nini wewe unatujua, so najua lazima tuulize hii maswali.
I think depending on your needs, because everyone has different needs. So you factor in the before, the procedure itself, including stay in hospital, and the follow-up after that. Put like an M aside for that. Yeah.
So uko na choice, either uende uinue chuma
ama usave hiyo pesa for 1 year.
Ama usave hiyo pesa for 1 year. But it's good that everything came out vipoa.
And let me just mention, a lot of people tend to also mistake procedures as shortcuts. This is just a tool. Trust me, if you don't take care of it, you're going to go back where you started. So even if I'm working with a very tiny stomach, I can decide to eat ice cream every day, or
the stomach will still expand.
Even this is the thing. Calories are so funny. you find someone who is eating like full meals and someone else who is not eating much,
Yes.
but maybe they're drinking a lot of sugary, diet, and they're adding weight. And then they tell you, I don't even eat much. I'm like, are you sure? It's the calories making you add the weight.
I think you're mimi. Like
Yeah.
I used to, for a very long time,
Yeah.
I used to take an average of 5 cups of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, I don't drink. Nishambwa,
Yes.
alcohol is bad.
Yes.
So 5 cups of tea.
Yeah.
I don't smoke. I don't whatever. So took 5 cups of tea. Alafu in a day,
Yeah.
at least on the lower side, 10 slices of bread.
and
this is
the,
something
and then
I
the
did-
sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is something I did for such a long time.
Yes.
That saa hizi vile nimeanza kuacha ndio niko zile za cause we don't know sugar is poison. This is something tukiwa toi we were leaking. We've always
Yes.
so by the time I realize that at least as a kid you are moving around.
Yeah.
Saa hizi you don't burn any sugar, so yeah. Okay.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, but I think it's whatever someone fancies. But like for me, I looked at my life and I'm like, if I continue like this, because my mom has diabetes and hypertension, I was like, that's where I'm heading. Yeah, and I also want to live a long, healthy life for my
I know.
boys.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that. Like, squeezy nowadays I've started going to the gym. Na si ile ati kubuild muscle nini kabisa. But I want to build ile muscle enough because they say if you have some muscle, what happens is you can now burn fat easily because
it's true.
Every time you take now carbs, at least they know where to go.
It's true.
Yeah. So kuna also I've been trying to do that and I think the journey has been interesting. At least one of the things that niliingia nayo niliingia na low expectations because nilikuwa najua I think I sat here with Gashao and Gashao was telling me vile ukishafika 40 building new muscle it's hard. But you can still build. It's just going to take longer. Like mtu wa 20s akikuwa naenda gym because mwendaga 3 times a week saizi angekuwa
it's true. 3 months later
but sisi itakuwa zile za it's pole pole and but kitu funny I was checking my visceral fat, it's gone down.
Oh, nice.
Subcutaneous ndio ijaenda down sana but visceral imeenda chini kabisa because I was ukuwa I think ma 16 nikajipata saizi niko 11 and hapo 11 it's place poa kabisa.
A sweet spot.
Okay,
so that's awesome.
So hizo ni nini mambo ya health. So wacha to go back to law. So is it something you want to practice at some point? It's like right now, what's an average Maureen's day?
So
what do you do?
Okay. 5 a.m. I'm up. I do my prayers.
Okay.
Study the word. Get ready. Take my boys to school.
Okay.
Come back. Once in a while I'll exercise. And if I have so there's so much to do. Either I'm shooting, I'm doing paperwork, drafting reports and looking for my invoices to go to a client.
Okay.
Maybe in between I'll have a friend who wants to have lunch. Then at 3 p.m. I'm back to pick up my kids. When I come back home, I use that time to help them with homework, and at the same time I use it to read. Like I'm on so many programs. What happens in our lives is that we get so comfortable to not improve ourselves. So Monday I have a book club with other ladies. So we do virtual book club. On Tuesdays I have a class is called Zindua from my church. Very nice, by the way. Even if you're not a believer and you just go through the Zindua classes, basically it's to prepare you for your 50s and 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically aligning yourself with what you should be now so that you can prepare for that person at 50, 60 after retirement. A typical evening other than Monday and Tuesday will be maybe a meeting. I have very understanding clients and friends, because you always have to like tell them like, I'm not available at this time. Can you avail yourself on this day? And then some are just bum around, sit outside in my swing chair and get the sun.
Yes.
And then I sleep early. I'm a very early sleeper. By 9 I'm in bed.
Because vile nimesikia ukisema by 5 we're up. Mi sasa waga ni mtu wa kwenda bed 3-4.
yeah, I can imagine. No wonder, in the morning, if I don't find your videos, at that time I'm taking the boys. The minute I drop, I'm like, imeanguka. No.
Late night.
It's whatever works, because you see, this is your work. And it's the same way, like, even weekends, I find myself working. So, but my typical day looks, Monday to Friday looks like that. Saturday, I'll have an event or go for my self-care. But...
Okay. So, law, umeachana nao kabisa?
No. In fact, let me tell you, if you give me an exam, kwanza, with this DD case, I've been following up.
Oh, okay.
And I've been looking at it with a legal mind. Honestly, something in me has been activated, and I feel like, I think I need to get back to it. However, I would have to do it with someone who can guide me, because you know how it is. There's a lot of compromise, and people, or lawyers, let me just call them out, who are not doing things the right way. If anything, if you are not careful, you can meet some rogues out here. But I also know that it's a very noble profession with amazing people. So where I left off, what happens is that you become, there are people who surpass you. Because it's practice. It's not something you wake up and you know everything on the same day. So the older you get into the industry, the better you become. So I'm still looking around and really thinking about it.
But this guy, that's done. Because I think he started practicing in his 40s.
Exactly.
And he's one of the biggest saizi.
Yes, exactly. You're even going too far. Babu Wino got admitted the other
Babu
day.
Majuzi. Yes.
Actually, to be honest, he really inspired me. I was like, okay.
It's time to go back.
It's okay, because I feel like I've built my name and my brand so well that it would be such a bonus. It's good when you do something and people know you. Okay, it's good and bad.
Yes.
But we'll focus on the positivity. But I'm really, really thinking about it.
Okay. Unaweza practice nini, civil, criminal?
Funny enough, I love criminal law.
Oh, okay.
But now, when you look around here in Kenya, kuna vile, I don't think I want to be in the corridors of justice. So the next better thing would be human rights law. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because like one of the things I find interesting from last year was the fact that you are very vocal when it comes to the protests.
Yes.
Of course, pia this year pia nilicheki ulikuwa umeweka hiyo kitu ya what to do, do's and don'ts, and who to call ukikuwa injured. So ulijipataje hapo, like being that interested in human rights?
Right. I think it's always been there. Probably there hasn't been many circumstances that would require me to put content out there, outlining that. And since like last year I didn't go to the streets, as well as this year, I usually say, let me use my platform to the best of my capacity. It's the only gift I can give other Kenyans. Some of us unajiangalia unasema nikienda kwa streets. First of all, my mom doesn't have another child.
You're the only child?
I'm the only child for my mom. My dad, hey. Hi. But I think if my mom had a mother, I think she would die. And my kids as well. I usually look at them and I'm like, if anything happens to me, that's it.
And I understand that side. Musamaga ikikamti fight, any contribution is important.
Exactly.
Yes. So,
and we all know how amazing it's been, on social media. There's a lot of strength. But anytime there's something happening, of course, first of all, I make a point to educate myself so I don't give out information that's not correct. So I fact check. And honestly, it's something that I'm so passionate about in terms of, I really hate seeing injustice. Totally. It's the one thing I can't stand. I guess it's inbuilt, and I think I'll go harder.
So acha nikuulize vitu kadhaa like recent. So the Ministry of Interior tweeted violent protests, Gen Z madness, briefcase NGOs, gutter press. Kenya is a nation built on order, a freedom also fought for. Our criminal justice system will prevail. Then wakabaki wameta Kenya Judiciary, the ODPP, the National Police Service, prisons, DCI, IPOA, na ngek Kenya sijui ni wagani hao.
Find out.
alafu OAG Kenya. So when you see such a tweet, what comes to mind? Because this is the Ministry of Interior. This is from the official nini ya Interior and National Administration.
Honestly, it makes me so sad. Like I was telling you earlier, I think we are all in a collective abusive relationship with our government. And then I think what happens is that anyone in government is working for us. We're the reason why they're there. We are the ones who pay them. But they're selling this notion of they're doing us a favor, they're better than us, they can do whatever. And, you know, impunity is very huge in the country. And honestly, I have so many things. I'm trying to filter because I'm like, this is Iko Nini, so I think I can speak my mind. Yeah, it's so unfortunate because where we are, especially a year later, no one has come out to say, we hear you. We will be able to change A, B, C, D. It's getting worse and worse every day. And then when they mess up, they blame everybody else apart from themselves. They're not self-reflecting. And that's what abusers do. They just point fingers at everybody else apart from themselves. They zero accountability. And then now they're trying to spin a narrative that any Kenyan, even a newborn, my mom said the other day, even the baby in a woman's stomach knows, there's zero accountability. There's zero, let's sit back and see what our countrymen need. And the worst part is that you feel it every day. When you leave your house, you feel it. When you're online, you feel it. When you go to bed, you feel it. I've been waiting for a day where we can wake up as Kenyans and find something positive happening. It's always the most ridiculous. Oh my God. You know, the things that don't make any sense. For instance, and sorry to bring up this story about Ojwang. How do you say someone has hit their head on
against the wall? Baka
kakufa. And then now you're caught with your pants down. And then now you spin the narrative again. And then again with whatever has been going on. And I'm so happy to see so many police officers coming out to say, we are friends. We are not enemies. Someone is just, what's happening is the people who give the instructions, if something backfires, this officer is the one who is left to struggle and suffer. And you've seen, I won't even go into the details.
Akina Talam, Akina
Muhuana. Just throwing people under the bus. And no consequences whatsoever.
Okay, so nini nilikuwa nimesema ngek ni the National Gender and Equality Commission, which I don't understand. How does this have to do with protest? I think they mean because of
the women who are assaulted.
Alafu pia kuna OAG, the Auditor General. So I'm wondering how that comes
that one also is not making any sense. Auditor General.
But calling it Gen Z madness is a very interesting phrase, because the way I look at it is you're calling millions of Kenyans mad. And these are millions of Kenyans who most probably don't have jobs. They are barely surviving. So they have every reason to be angry. And they have every reason to be mad.
Thank you. If that's a madness they're talking about, so be it. So be it.
Unaita madness. Alafu, kwani una feel ni kama hataki kuteka accountability? Because you see even like what happened on Saturday, where the president meets the security chiefs. And to me it's just ni kutu intimidate tu. Unajua kutuonyesha like all these guys have guns. Nyi mko na water bottles na flags zenyu. Jaribuni mtaona. Murkomen stands and starts justifying what he'd said the other day, because hiyo kitu yake imecapturewa from 3 angles. There's the angle where he was talking to civilians. He said shoot to kill, Oswaka Mbu. Then he went to talk to the police, and there was this annoying cop who was like, yes sir.
Actually a bunch of them was like, just want to go through the screen.
Then kuna hii moja jana ile nimecheki, ile alikuwa anawaambia that yenyewe nimesema hivi, but don't go out there and kill everyone, but usijali hata ukiumiza kama 5-10 hivi hakuna shida, yatakupea lawyer. So hiyo yote, and you're the president of a country, and your internal guys trying to justify mass murder. How are we supposed to go past this?
You know what's surprising me is that this guy is still out there. living life. But then there's Mama Ojwang, there's Mama Rex. It's so close home such that you can see the disregard of human life with zero consequences. Honestly, if the laws we have, from the Constitution to the Penal Code, if it was working, because right now they're just papers.
Yes, pieces of paper, yes.
Yes, if the judiciary gives out directives and then they're ignored, for instance, police masking themselves up when they're out there, they haven't stopped. In a good space where we follow the law, Murkomen shouldn't be walking around right now. Should have stepped down. You can see the incompetence he carries, the arrogance. And actually, you know what came to mind? I didn't even know he's that well educated. But then
he's a lawyer.
Yeah, and I just concluded, education doesn't always mean intelligence, because me, I'll say it as it is.
Yes.
You are so okay. Maf, if I get cancelled, ama nikujiwe.
Zizi.
Yeah. You know the way someone can be so stupid that they want you to believe their stupidity.
Yes.
That's how it feels like. Come on, pull yourself back and say, hey, hapo sijasema vizuri. But I like what our former deputy president said. It's just a young person who has this money and he thinks it's going to be there forever. Unfortunately, Kenyans can see everything. Everything is being documented.
Yeah.
This will come to haunt these people.
Okay, because vile umebonga juu education imefanya nimefikiria imefanya nikataka kudigress. I don't know if you followed this tweet that was happening yesterday between Willis Otieno, you know him, the lawyer, Piki Ponki. People call him that. Remember him?
I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe if I see the face.
During the petition, he was the guy who was saying that alikuwa na sweat kwa koti.
Yes. Oh. Okay. Now that you've mentioned, okay.
Yes. So he went into a tweet with anaitwa nani? Sylvia Kangara. So Sylvia Kangara is one of the president's advisors.
Yes.
So she's an advisor, a member of the President's Council of Economic Advisors, executive office of the president. So they got into this tweet.
Yes.
And say alikuwa naandika vitu. Like people were there. Like mpaka even someone put a beat to it. Like it was a rap song. Yeah.
A diss.
Yeah, so this is how he started. I just wanted to check kidogo ilikuwa juu education ati good morning Sylvia Kangara. Just so you know you're not a distraction, you're a case study. A walking thesis on how education doesn't always elevate the mind, just the volume. And yes, you're my business now. Because when you mock struggle while waving your titles, you don't just embarrass yourself, but also insult everyone fighting for a better Kenya. So buckle up, doctor. Class is in session, and this time you're the syllabus. Watu wanaambiana maneno hapa. Yeah, I could take it. People even started putting beats on it.
That's the first thing I'm going to look at.
Yeah. They went at it. And this was also, Pia, go back to you. I don't think education, I always credit education for making Kenya what it is.
Yes.
Like atakuwa mbele ya TZ na nini. But shida ya Kenya ni sometimes it does not translate to anything.
Exactly.
Like when you look at a lawyer come out and try to justify mass murder just because he's in power.
Wow. And holding such a position.
Because unasikia mtu anasema hata ukipita na 5 ama 10.
Yeah.
Like, this, I was reacting to that and I said, I've never heard of any situation in Kenya where a cop is accused of shooting more than one person.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
True.
Inakuwa wameshoot mtu mmoja.
Yeah.
But hii ule unasema ati fungua just open fire on Kenyans.
Yeah.
It's
We're
okay.
gone. We are. It's such a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
And very saddening, honestly, especially from parents who are, crying for their children.
Yes.
And when you think about it, all the people who've been gunned down, they're so young.
Yeah.
In their 20s and 30s. We're losing literally a whole generation and dreams. But I think that the most painful thing is just to see those parents crying.
Yeah.
as a mom, it's just, I can't imagine. And it's because of, look, what are we looking for? Accountability.
Yes.
Corruption to be reduced.
Yes.
Good education. Good health care. We could go on and on and on. There isn't even one item we can say, mapenyewe, this is working.
Yes.
Let's give this person. Everything is just getting worse and worse. I wish it was even being maintained. It's just going back.
Ni mbaya sana. Alafu wacha tu switch sasa tukuja kwa stories za influencing. Ulijipataje kwa hii field? Because mimi of course rap fan. So apart from being a rap fan, at some point nilikuwa nimequit media, so nimerudi in 2021. So I was not following up stuff, but I remember nilikuwa najuaga like wife alikuwa nakufuata sana. Iko like Maureen, so hata ile time ulikuwa na tu drama tu wako ilikuwa. So ulijipataje kwa hiyo space? Because at some point it was not an actual space. I think nyinyi some of the first people to make it a space. So
wacha nikwambie minor. So when I was in uni, I did full-time modeling.
Okay.
Yes. Runway, commercials.
Oh, okay.
I did so much. I was in uni up until 2014. And that period is when now Instagram was growing.
Yes.
So I don't think much of it. I go on, I get myself a boyfriend.
Yes.
We get a baby. I finish, when I was in the law firm, a few of my friends were like, oh, you guys are like so cute. We don't have any good example of a young couple. You'd do so well, like on social media.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I started entertaining the idea. My ex as well, because he was getting into the country. He had just come back from the UK. He was in personal trading. Of course, when the numbers go out, that's how you get clients.
Yes.
So that time, I was very private though. So but I would get a lot of requests. It got so much. Sometimes if I don't look at my phone, if I look at my phone in the morning and I had accepted people, I'd find up to 1,500 requests.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Then we started entertaining the idea like, oh, can we have a YouTube channel? That's how Alpha Beta was born.
Okay.
And there was so much purity in our relationship at that time and parenting.
Yes.
Can you imagine this young girl going to the law firm? The boyfriend is a personal trainer. They have this cute boy. They're hustling. They're real. Way to move. Then 2017, Nameless asked me to be in one of his videos.
Yes.
Inspire.
Yeah.
And suddenly there was a spotlight on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone was encouraging me, please go public. Your numbers are growing. Go public. Then I'm like, go public and then what? Because I've always been a very private person.
Yes.
So through that, I would even get calls like from media, like, hi, we hear you're the hottest. I don't know what. Me, I'll be like, no, please leave me alone. I don't want that. But then the numbers started swelling. Moved from 1,500 to, in a day, like 2,000-3,000. So my ex was encouraging me, just go, do it.
Yes.
Oh, and before that, I was doing another very cute business. I call it cute because, again, when you start something, when you have a pure mind, people can see it. So I've always loved beauty and hair.
Yes.
So I would make hair, like I would sew wigs at night.
Okay.
When I get home, I sew the wigs. I put them on my page. So I would connect the two. So my business page was public. My personal page was not. So I would actually wear that hair. I remember I would be leaving the house and I stand by the door and he takes photos of me. And then as we go, he drops me at work. I'd be editing and posting. Then I would carry that hair and put it under my desk. So people would be like, oh, I want that hair. So I would have a rider come pick it. Oh, okay. In fact, there's a time, 1 month, we relied on that business, like to pay the bills and food and everything. Back to 2017, I get this surge. Everyone wants to know who I am. The numbers are getting crazy. That time, I think I was at around 10,000. So I would, when you go public, you switch to public, you accept everyone.
Yes.
So I'd do that at night. And then in the morning, I close. Then I got encouraged and I went public.
Okay.
Again, I started growing. Then I quit in the law firm and I worked for a production company.
Oh, okay.
The same year, towards the end, I got pregnant with my second born. And now brands started noticing me. I remember Palmer's was the first one to come to me.
Okay.
And they were paying good money. I think it was 150K.
Okay.
But mind you don't know anything. You don't know how to shoot content, your raw edits. Everything was dark, but there was so much purity in and organic growth in that. And then I was like, hey, if I can make this money as an influencer, why? I don't even think we used to be called influencers at that time. It's just content creator. I don't remember.
Yes.
And moving forward, Deto comes. Then I was like, this looks good.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, there's again, I'm still doing my modeling. There's a commercial I did in Bangkok. When I say modeling, it was international modeling. No, regional, Pan-African, sorry.
Yes.
So I fly into Bangkok. I was 5 months pregnant with my second born. You're paid in dollars. I brought back the dollars. And I was like, this life, it's looking good. So end of that year, after I delivered my baby and went back to work, I was like, it's not working for me.
Yes. Yeah.
So I quit and focused fully.
Salo ya job ilikuwa sanga
50K.
50K. Because the reason why nimekuuliza
Yeah.
and nataka kuangazia, there's this thing I always mention kushaisikiaga nikisema there's no one who leaves their side hustle that gives them more money to concentrate on the main job that gives them less. The politicians lie to us that side hustles always go out here making millions while they are earning like 100, 200.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Beats logic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the cuteness grew. The cuteness meaning myself and my ex and our babies.
Yes.
And of course now I'm doing more. I'm still in my hair business. I was even able to buy my car, my first car, the one I came with. That one is older than my son. It's a very dear car to me. And then, I ended up now getting into this full time.
Okay.
And I've never looked back since.
Okay. Yeah. Umonaje? Because right now there's a lot of people doing it. So has it affected revenue and such stuff? Ama, if you have relationships you maintained, you're okay?
So usually you can't lose what you don't have.
Yes.
So I usually say, personally, I've never approached a client, but I position myself so that when a client, a brand fits you, they come to you like that.
Okay.
Because if it was the other way around, they would ask me not to be me. They would ask me to do what they feel would look good for them, but not for my audience.
Yes.
And this and let me tell you, the industry is shifting so fast, such that if you're also not consistent, people will forget you.
Yes.
And I also appreciate even the upcoming influencers. We call them micro influencers. There's the macro ones, there's the mega ones. I think I'm a macro.
Okay.
I've not hit... I've hit 1 million, but not on my Instagram, on my other pages when you combine everything. But the space I'm at, I know for a fact, even when a client comes and says, this is our budget and it's not making sense to me, I'm happy to let it go. It would benefit someone else who is hungry.
Yes.
Because you can come and tell me that you want 6 videos and for me to attend... it's called what?
An event or
an
something.
Event
a
or and you want to pay me 80,000 shillings.
Yeah.
Production costs.
Yeah.
More of you'd appreciate that because you know
what.
Najua. So of course I have to spend on that. It's a business like any other. When I look at these 6 videos, first of all, even that money can't do anything because if you see, we've set a standard on the quality of content. Having in the commercial modeling. Back in the days, not even so long, even now, like anyone who is doing any major company that's doing commercials, the budgets are usually huge.
Yes.
Talking of 15 million, 20 million, they fly in directors from South Africa or India, big budget. But as a model, you won't get anything. It's always something from 100 to 500,000 with that big budget. But what we're doing right now as the influencers who have evolved to the latest form of content creation, we are giving such high quality content, which is even TV worthy. In terms, of course, it will cost. And once you hit that bar, you can go back. Like, you can't convince me to shoot with my phone. And I have good phones.
Yes, I know. Hizi
ni za vitu zetu personal.
Yes.
But you cannot touch it and you say you can go. I cannot. Even for myself, if the quality is getting poorer, then you're just saying, hey, you don't want to do the job anymore. And I'm hoping. I was going to say, I'm also hoping that also clients can start appreciating what influencers are doing, because the talent out here is mad.
Yes.
And you can see how, if for instance there's a panel whereby they want a campaign about this and this, so they go pick a person who will represent moms, maybe myself, or lifestyle, or mom and dad, daughter and father. Then they'll go to another guy and they're like, this guy can represent this. And I'm loving how now you can tell we're being understood. However, I think they need to pay better. We could be making more money. Or maybe it's my rate card that's kind and sweet.
Okay. Pia mimi mufiligi rate card yangu iko kind and sweet.
Right?
But it come to influencing, bado mwishindaga nikisema watu wafanyagi research. I don't think there's someone who can sell TVs better than mimi. Mnasikia nyinyi? But pia I also have the principle of I never approach anyone. Wekuja. But najua. So imekuwa nini? And at any point have you felt like quitting? Because I feel like influencing is a harder job than to content creation. Bado si utukanwa. But I feel like it's... So have you felt like...
Many times, especially something happened to, I think from 2021, 2022, the algorithms really changed.
Okay.
It was no longer about first come, first serve. It's now generated in so many things you can't understand. Sometimes you'd be having a hot video. My goodness, you're like, itatembea. You post it, crickets. It can get very discouraging. And then a client won't understand that
not everything will work.
Not everything will work out. And then also when others complain, no, we did not get what we were looking for. I usually say, if you come to me, and of course I've had to learn on the job, first thing I'll ask, especially for smaller businesses, what do you intend to get from me? Some understand.
Okay.
And then there are others who be like sales. And that's when you have to say, look, I don't give sales. I just facilitate something that can amount to sales.
I can't guarantee sales.
Exactly. What I will give you is visibility. And of course, me being Maureen, everyone knows that the brand I touch, it's authentic, it's good. I turn so many people away, especially if it doesn't complement my lifestyle. I'm raising 2 boys. There are things I can't do, just for the moolah, But again, I've thought so many times, I'm like, let me go collect my books. We try, but then you realize nothing is easy. If it was, everyone would be doing it.
Yes.
You have to keep pushing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And of course, lazima mtaje. Shaipata client from hell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, yes. Actually, very recently. Wait, I won't go into details.
Yes.
It's that nightmare. You do your work, you deliver, And you can see numbers don't lie, especially when you collaborate with a client, they can see. And they come and say, we did not get our money's worth. And I'm like, what do you mean? And this is not immediately, this is after months. So I'm like, why didn't you say anything earlier than that? And then even when you try to resolve, because the question I asked was, the thing I said was, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can we have a sit down and see where you feel I didn't perform or where you feel that I wronged you? And it becomes something else. Because I remember replying to this client and I was like, I'll also check with my legal team to see if there's anything I've breached.
Okay.
So instead of coming back and telling me, okay, let's do it, it's like, oh, now you're using lawyers. There were no lawyers involved when we... I'm like...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you realize they want to argue over looking for a solution. You get it? Because you've told them, it's okay, let's have a sit down. And I'm not denying that definitely maybe you had certain expectations. Because I also want you to measure for me what criteria you're using.
Yes.
To say you did not get your money's worth. But those are the ones you learn and you disappear and you learn from them so that the next client who's coming and they're giving you something similar, you'll tell them, my work is to create visibility. That one I'll give you. Visibility I'll give you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because kuturn something into sales ni hard sana.
Yeah.
You're like getting hizo nini.
Yeah. I'm not a marketer.
That's why niko najisifu na stories za kuturn because TVs mimi.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I know is I think every week lazima niko na mtu na mwafu natafuta TV nichukue TV gani. Then I advise people and they actually go. Paka I could even connect them with someone they're going to buy from. So kuna hiyo. But nawe mwenyewe, is there a time you've misbehaved as an influencer? This means that ulipatiwa job and you did it, but maybe you didn't handle the client the way you're supposed to handle it.
Yeah.
I've had such situations whereby kuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia there's this gig we'd gotten, I won't say it's which company, and they took some time to pay us. And I remember meeting the guy baadaye alafu like, hey, mwafu waga umetulia. Alafu I'm asking them, nimetulia kwa nini? Kwa hii gig mlifanya na bla bla bla. Yet nani vile tukulipa in time. Msa alituandikiaga email akitutukana alikuwa rude sana kwa hii email. Lakini we hukuwaifuatilia because I was like, the company is too big to play. So sikufuatilia. Have you ever handled a situation whereby you're like, damn, I should have handled that better? Have you ever had that?
Those ones will always be there. Although my principle is, if I see, you know what they say, things don't start wrong.
Yes.
Sorry, things don't end wrong. They start wrong.
Okay.
So I've had to exercise my my thoughts, and when I see trouble coming, I take off. Have I blundered? Yes. There are a few things I've done that are quite embarrassing, but then the beauty of this industry, we are the ones setting the precedent. So we're also learning on the job. Maybe a client can tell you, like, let me tell you about an embarrassing one. It haunts me to date. So it was a toothpaste. I won't say which company.
Yes.
And that time, now we had not developed to be who we are right now, scripting, setting the mood. Because nowadays clients have realized approvals can happen along the way. So the first approval would be your script. Then revision of the first draft like that. So that was not there. So I went with this toothpaste, I don't know, to Giraffe Center, and I took a photo holding it. There was a giraffe, and the client was like, what? What is she doing? Yes. What are you doing? But you see, I didn't have any. I was so embarrassed. I was like, looking back, I was like, what was that even me? But you see, we didn't have any outline of the things. So right now, you're given like a list of
do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts. You also exercise
caution,
and also conflict of interest.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. Of course, now you mature in the game. But I've not had any client that we've had head-on collision. In fact, the smaller businesses are the ones who...
Najuaga the smaller businesses, I think it's because of the fact that they expect instant results.
Yes.
And it doesn't work that way. The bigger clients on the other side, I think, wanakuwaga na lower expectations.
Yes.
Realistic expectations. I think it goes back to a story, a business where someone will start a business and they want to make 100% every year. It reminds me of, I don't know koli wachiki, but kuna interview Kingori alifanya with one of the guys that used to work with Morara. And that guy was saying zile za show me a business, ule ukivest 2 million shillings will make you profit 50,000 per month. And a lot of people are like, such businesses exist, such what exist. And in reality, they don't, because that 50,000, that's 600,000. 600,000 per year, that's a lot of money.
Exactly.
When you think about 600,000, alafu tuna divide by divide by 2 million, that's 30% per year. 30% per year. If you compound, you'd be one of the richest people in the world.
Exactly. Things are not always straightforward. And I think also business people, they've been, educating. And I love where we are as a generation, the media, social media, realistic conversations. But that's the thing. And right now, it's we're in very hard economic. If, for instance, when you are getting these couches, it was an investment.
Yes.
You'd rather not even have a couch in your house because now you're buying. Right. Even like when I'm going to buy this iPhone, it's because it's an investment.
Yes.
I'll repay within maybe the first job I shoot.
Yes.
But of course now this is when you don't have the professionals and when maybe a client just wants something simple like an Insta story or a video of saying something. But things are tough and that's the truth.
Vile umepunga iPhone remind I was having this conversation with my sister-in-law ilikuwa jana and I was busy trying to convince her to take an iPhone 15 because alikuwa anataka pro mpaka namwambia unajua pro watu kama sisi we literally turn these phones into money. The fact is kuletea do chukua tu, but eventually I was able to convince her because nikamwambia I moved to 15 because of you don't have to use lightning.
True.
This story after charger type C, it's crazy. But sasa tukimalizia aspirations zingine ziloko nazo apart from because saizi you're like a full-time content creator and influencer. Do you want to add an extra thing kwa you ama unataka kumaintain hizi mbili?
Oh, absolutely. Actually what I have is an exit plan.
Okay.
And when I say exit plan, it's not getting up and leaving everything I've worked on. But there's so much that is in the works right now. I have great passion in women's economic empowerment and mindset because every day I live hearing from these women. And not just women as it is, but I'm creating something that will make, let me give you context.
Yes.
I was raised by everybody else. And so when I was a teenager, my mom came back to my life and, if you don't know who your dad is, you'd be like, that's the time your brain has grown. And it's like, who's my dad, by the way? What does he do? And my mom was like, he's in this office. Go see him.
Okay.
And all I remember is when I went to see him and came back, I won't go into the details, but something life-changing happened. And basically, I met him and then he disappeared somewhere, so I had to walk all the way back home. It's behind us, but it changed something in my mind. And I said that as a young woman, I will never, ever let myself be taken advantage of or to rely. It's very, just stay with me. Anybody who bleeds red. And my mindset completely switched. So ever since that time, I've always worked on my independence.
Yes.
And not just that, but I've seen the things I've been able to escape along the way. So when I talk of mindset and that empowerment, I'm talking of what do you tell an 8-year-old girl to do when she's a teenager to a young adult who is in university, who will tarmac or grow themselves in a certain way, and also alternative means of earning an income other than working in an office. Right now, we have to be very honest. You can make money from almost anything as long as you perfect it.
Yes.
And we say, just learn a skill that you can charge people for. And so what happens with our community is that, unlike abroad, a 16-year-old has never been inside of an office. She's never earned her own money. But me, what I used to do when we would go for school holidays, I'll go and volunteer at my, our family that time, pastor's wife's office. You get that? And she would give me like 200 bob. And it was a lot of money. I have my pads, I have my lotion. What else do I want? So it saved me from getting impressed and also not having a say. All right? And looking back, I'm like, there's a way, probably I didn't have another way of doing it, but I know I made a conscious decision at age 16. And I said, I will never, ever want to find myself in a situation where my mom is. Because, and you can find this interview, I've talked about it at length somewhere else. And so there's that. Then there's a lot I've been wanting to do with my dad. He's been unwell for a while, but sorry. For like a year and a half. And so right now I'm running around getting everything together. But not only that, I've also had great passion in mental health industry. Yes, I've struggled with mental health before. And also law, the way I said, if I go back, I might not practice my passion, but I might practice what makes sense. There's also an element of mediation where people can look for alternative dispute resolutions, but mostly families and young families. Yeah, because I feel that it's a big gap where you saw like what was happening with Mulamoa, even me myself, you know. So many young people think that's the end of the world, then they forget the damage they do to their future children or existing children in another few years. So why not have a soft landing and tell them these things are not new under the sun. We want to destroy each other and then so those are the things I'm looking at immediately, and it's in my 5-year plan. Yes, and finally I feel like I'm also living life. I have stability. I'm not moving from point A to B. The boys are grown.
They're how old right now?
My youngest just turned 7. And my older one is 9. He'll be turning 10 in October.
Nilikuwa Buddha before nini, because my kid, I have one. She's a daughter. She's turning. She's already turned 10.
Nice.
Yes. So,
oh my goodness.
Mushi, I just like joking with her about like I don't like the software so easy because the software update is arguments like girls. So you and your dad, how did you make peace in quotes? Like after hii mara ya kwanza kuhepe, alikuhepa because he had another family.
Yeah, of course.
Alikuwa nafini kama uta break family. You understand that side?
No. Like I said, I have step siblings and it was all the same. He got married to the wife he's still with till now. And I don't know what happened. I can't speak for them. But I know he neglected us. But 5 years ago, exactly 5 years ago, this was after my breakup with my ex. He was so supportive. He came in and he came hard. And how he disarmed me.
Out?
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, he had been trying to reach out, but I also rejected him. It's actually my mom who told me, hear him out. Hear him out. And, a parent, especially a father, can speak the smallest thing to their child and it can heal them. He just told me, Mom, I know you. You're Njambi. Njambi is his mother. You're Njambi. He said it in a more Kikuyu way. But then he said, you're my daughter and I know what you're capable of. Don't fight it. Walk, you will thrive. Then afterwards, remember, we grew up not meeting this other family. We couldn't even go to his house. So my stepbrother was having in Kikuyu, when you get a baby, there's a ceremony afterwards. It's called Oshogio.
Yeah, I think tuliendaga Oshogio ya nani ya Ian. Tuliendaga.
Yes. Yeah. So my stepbrother lives in Germany, and he has this cute little boy called Luis, and we were having the Oshogio. So for the first time, we were able to go to my dad's home, and he said, anyone carrying the Waititu name, come forward. From me to my grandmother to even other people I'm meeting for the first time, my relatives. And I was like, wow, something is happening. And a few days later, I was able now to sit down with him.
Okay.
And what broke me was, he told me, Mom, I want you to think of me as your age mate. I made mistakes.
Okay.
Because I didn't know any better. And he told me about his own story, how his father just left the mom with, I think 4 boys, I'm not so sure, and came to Nairobi and started a new life with another woman. Only that he pushed himself, and he really was passionate about education. He ended up studying engineering. He was in the army in the UK for a couple of years, and then he came and met my mom. He was a hot dude. I mean, look at the kind of a child they made. And that happened. I think a lot of women were happening, so there was so much fight. And if you see my dad, he's so soft, you can't even think he's capable of doing some of those things. But he was he really made me calm down, and he said, just don't imagine of me as an adult, a grown man. Don't think of this white hair. And then he said, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making it up to you. And that's what he's done to date.
Oh, okay.
To date, my dad, I count on him. He's been so present.
But let me say that thing. I always say it, I always in a different way.
Yeah.
Musamaga that when you become an adult,
right,
that's when you realize that your parents, when they were raising you, they were doing guesswork.
Exactly.
Because they'd never done this before.
Exactly.
When you're an adult, that's when you realize that you met your mother and your dad when they were youth.
Exactly.
So they were young. But kwa mind yako, jumepata, they have everything figured out. They have what.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a learning journey. We always learn. We make a few mistakes here and there. And how has relationship now, your step siblings? Is it good? Am I...
So, I've only been in touch with 2. Unfortunately, we lost one 2 years ago. My little sister. So that was a painful loss. She was very young.
What happened?
I can't put a point on it, but she went to sleep and didn't wake up. Sudden death. Yeah, and she was very young.
Those 2 pre-existing conditions, did they do their autopsy?
They did. They did. I won't go into details, but pre-existing. Yeah, she went. She was so young.
Those ones are scary.
Yeah, like sudden death is so common. That's what I came to learn. Yeah, but they did postmortem. They did a toxicology. It was sudden death, and it caught us at a bad time. So bad because we had just lost our grandmother, the one I'm named after, months before. And again, I think that made my dad, it jolted him proper. But I'm telling you, he's been, in fact, I don't even see him and the boys. Wow, they love each other. So sometimes I'm hearing him calling my nanny, hey, can I talk to the boys? Because I was like, hey, build your own relationship. Me, I am a grown woman. I don't need you so much.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Let me just tell you an incident that actually solidified my relationship with him. This was last year, but one.
Yes.
We went to celebrate my youngest birthday. Uko Kembu, kunaitwaje uko? The picnic sites.
See Evergreen?
Around that area. Yeah. There are many. Paradise, this Paradise Lost, so this Paradise Gardens. Then, after we've done everything, it's this to rains, the ones that rains for hours, it started pouring. So we were like, let's get out of here, because I don't know, the car I had that time, there was no way it was going to do all those halabalus. Sisi na kina nani Google Maps. We drove into this, I think earlier there was, when there's a mjengo, the pouring of the red soil.
Yeah.
Hey.
You got ditch?
Not even, it's a road, but there was a truck that kept going in, so it had sunk the ground.
Okay.
And the car I had was really low and very heavy. Have you ever known when you're going into trouble, like, I'm getting into trouble? So that happens. We are stuck. It's raining castle dogs. It was 5, but it looked like it's at 7 p.m. We call anybody. We even call the guys. We're like, we are stuck here. They're like, we can't even go because it's raining. We're stuck for 6 hours.
Ooh,
3
so
adults.
That's 11 p.m.
11, going to midnight. We call AA. They came, they got stuck.
Wenyewe.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wakaita wengine pia wakakwama. So we just sing a torch, it disappears. We can hear them, but we can't see that far because it's in the coffee plantation. Just when we had given up, I see somebody coming with a torch. My dad.
Oh.
He waddled through whatever that was, this high. He came. There were 3 kids, my sons and a friend's daughter. He carried all those babies on his back, one at a time.
Yes.
Took them. We got a Uber, and then he came for me, and he was like, now he's mastered where the water is, and that's the time I was like, oh my goodness, I felt like a little girl who has, when you see our dads as heroes, that one solidified it. And I'm so grateful to him because our relationship has gotten... In fact, my relationship with both my parents have become so amazing.
Yeah, because you said something I found interesting. Ulisema uliraisiwa na kila mtu commit mom later. What did you mean by that?
Yes. So, when my mom and my dad went separate ways, my mom left me with my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
So, I was in between my grandmother, my mom's brother's home, another uncle. So, I was being moved around. And that time, it's not like now, you can call your child anytime. So she would disappear for 3 months. She comes. In fact, I used to call her auntie because, kids pick what's there. So I'm seeing all my cousins calling her auntie. Now I'm like, okay. And I would be like, hey, that auntie loves me. This in my child brain, she brings me nice things. Oh, okay. Then later on, I was like, it's my mom. So she came into my life, and then it was a bit grown, preteen, teenage. Then I went to a boarding school, like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So mkakuja kujuana vizuri pia as an adult?
Yes. In fact, it was more of just intentionality. At the end of the day, you can't replace your mother. But our relationship was also strained because I think... Because she missed out so much, she wants me very close.
Yes.
And I'm a young girl who's trying to gain independence. So there was that rift. But right now, I just love the relationship I have with my parents.
Okay, that's great. Because imenikumbusha on Father's Day we'd put hizo clips, but it was mostly men talking about their dads. And it was interesting because there was some backlash.
Yeah.
Because kuna watu wako like, you should never talk about your dad like that. But it's good kuona watu wameripea. It's inakuwaga one of those things where I say, because my dad passed kitambo, nikiwa 16. So with that, we never, kuna a few things that I judge him with that I feel like as an adult and understand.
Yes.
So kuna kuwaga na hiyo nini. But
sorry, let me just say this. I did... some stories on my IG, and I got such heartbreaking messages from men. We're talking about predatory behaviors from the gender we never suspect from women. Some lady has been writing to me, not just the way it's a super fan. And she kept referring to my son, my youngest. And then the message that I caught, she had said, I have a crush on Kai. Kai is he turned 7 2 weeks ago. Oh my goodness.
with the funny thing is,
yeah.
because when you look at women, if I had that, I'd assume it's a joke.
Yes.
So
Imagine
it was,
if it was a grown man
yeah,
coming
you
to tell me. Exactly.
Mm.
So I went on I did what I had to do. Nikampasha, put a message, just see. Then I looked at the previous messages. She's been throwing such, saying it was not a one-off thing. She's like, oh, my cute guy, tell him to send me Valentine's flowers. And deep down, I know that woman never really maybe meant it in a, sex way.
Yes. But
however,
still,
I just kept saying, what if it flipped? Then someone sent me a video of this woman who was harassing and asking a
like
young
a high school
boy,
kid.
that one.
Yes, I remember watching that. Yes.
So I got so many messages later, and these were from men. And what I caught was, apparently so many men have been put through what now they look back as sex abuse.
Yes.
From women. And it's a reality we don't talk about. Why this came up was that neglect that boys are given, because I think we all assume boys should be tough. And hence, when you trying to get information about Father's Day from men, my goodness, it's so sad. Because who's gonna protect men?
Yes.
Yeah, so raising boys, I've always been very protective, and I talk to them, I tell them everything that needs to be told, which is age appropriate, especially protecting themselves. But there's so many men who are dealing with wounds, from abandonment to being essayed to being just cast aside, And so what we're getting is a generation of very broken men.
Yes.
From the surface, they look okay. In fact, they even tell you, I lost my V through my old akuzo, a lady. But in reality, yes.
Yes, I'm a mboch.
Yes.
Who the mboch is always older.
Exactly.
I think even I've had situations whereby kids have gotten venereal diseases.
Yes.
From so I know it's a problem.
Yeah. So it's very heartbreaking.
Because when I see these things like happening, like in America, lately kumekuwa na a lot of those cases of teachers and kids.
Yes.
So there was even a situation whereby a teacher did what? Kuna a teacher who did what? He's a send nudes. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
but
crazy.
the ones for impregnation, I've seen a lot of them. I'm like, how can you prey on a 13, 14, 15-year-old? Yeah. So I think, honestly, if that conversation can really continue, we will have better men, because hurt men.
Yes.
Hence the Didis and the R. Kellys of this world. They're just a product of abuse.
Umekuwa ukifuatilia story ya Didi?
Vibaya sana.
Yeah, because majuzi, it's when I was talking to my wife, and she was disgusted. I was telling her that what I've learned from the trial was Didi was gay.
Yeah.
Ama is gay.
Yeah.
And he's closeted. And that's why, according to me, the anger he had towards women, beating them up, na vitu kama hizo. Because you had the nasty detail what is to happen after the freak-offs. So nilikuwa namwambia, and she's there disgusted, and they're like, this is what she didn't know.
Yeah. You cannot bury your head in the sand. Just know what's going on in the world. As for discernment, honestly, you'd rather know. Because think about it. If kids knew when they're being assaulted and they told somebody they trust, these things wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
But it's because they don't know. You know why? Because me, being a mom to a 7 and a 9-year-old, and I've not spoken to them that if someone says this or touches you here is wrong, they will, before you know it, you lose them. You lose them. Yeah, even can you remember that Nini he did about his cousin? Damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. His story ni
Messed up. Big time.
Ni messed up sana. Because I remember seeing like a girl, and I think the first thing that came to mind was she was trying to trend. But there are other ways to trend.
Exactly.
Your stories are nini, because if you come to stories of abuse, na vitu kaa hizo, taking advantage of kids. It's tricky. So what were your views on the president when he decided, remember that time he freed like 10 pedophiles?
Our president.
How can I just story?
No. I know of him freeing pedophiles.
Yes.
But I didn't know there were 10.
Many. There were many. Ukienda through your list.
Oh my
There are those ones who
word.
stood out.
Yeah.
Because even in hiyo pedophilia kuna watu watajam na mimi, lakini musemaga kuna crime na ile ni crime. Sasa hatuwezi. There's one that he freed when he was 63 years old. He molested a 4-year-old.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Him.
Yeah.
The president freed that person.
That's how you know
Alafu
how.
there was another one ule ali molest a 9-year-old. He freed.
Oh my
And I was there like, damn.
Yeah.
So we're 4 years old now, this kid. So reaction yako ilikuwaje? Alafu I think umoja wa mwisho I think was, it's even a question I'd written, niko na plan kuuliza Maraga, but I didn't ask him. It's Maraga who jailed him for life. And then the president come free.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Let me tell you, the unfortunate thing is that again, the moral fabric of this country is rotten to the core. Because again, a crime is a crime, yes?
Yes.
But you're releasing a renowned, found guilty pedophile. He comes out here. People have forgotten. Maybe he was jailed, 5-6 years ago? I would want to hear the criteria behind that, why you freeing a pedophile, because already he's a danger
so
to the
many
society.
things you can free.
Exactly.
So many people you can free.
You know? And that's why countries like, the US, they have this, it's called what? Where
Yes,
they
RSOs,
register.
registered
Yes,
sex offenders.
exactly.
Yes. Even getting a house waga tricky.
Exactly,
Like when as soon as you're an RSO, even getting a house.
That's how it should be. We need a system that we can be listing these offenders because we're very trusting. Someone will come. See, he knows he can go back to his village where he did what he had to do. He'll come to another village. He gets work as a shamba boy or whatever. Before you know it, he's already preying on other kids. Those are people who are not supposed to walk free.
After when a president frees more than one,
yes,
you become super worried.
Again.
So lazima nikuulize, hii sasa ni jokingly, najua tusema you should not supposed to joke about anything. But hizi neighborhoods, kunasemekanaga US, these RSOs end up in their own neighborhoods because they can't live with the watu wa kawaida. So what should rent be in these places? High ama low?
So high.
Sindio?
So high that they'll question
their choices.
You have to keep reminding these people. Like I said, if you're quiet, because you see, putting rent high up is not really like a direct punishment, but it's to show you and to remind you why you're there.
Yes.
I'm not saying they be beaten up or whatever, but it should be so high. And there should be, I don't know, me, if I was the president, I would do things. And every time there's live streaming.
Kunasema like, I don't know how he forgot to ask Maraga hiyo swali. But ngataka kumuuliza like how he felt. You've jailed this person for life. And then the president decides to release them.
So it must be a horrible feeling.
Kuna vitu zingine because you are 4-year-old, I'll never understand it. He was 63 and I remember even reasoning as a man. I was like, kuna difference yetu na nyinyi waga. I don't know at what point your women wisha, but see, the older we get, the lower our sexual urges become. Lower. I have few anzaga from 30s. So from 30s, we're on a decline. So by the time tunafika 60, for them to look at a 4-year-old, and for the president to be like, you know what, this person,
let me feed this person.
I think kuna vitu, kuna zile vitu ni sick kabisa.
To the core. But that's what we're dealing with, Mof. We need an overhaul of everything. This country can't be living on impunity and the who's and who's getting away with crime. Basically, we are creating a monster that we might not be able to tame.
Oh, but damn, hii swali ya mwisho ndakuuliza. By the time usona watchini 30th, so 7 days from now ni Saba Saba. Do you think the Saba Saba protest should happen?
Let me tell you,
push
I thought about it this morning. I thought about it and I was like, because I was saying, fine, we did the the demos for our slain heroes. What's next? What comes? And the next thing,
Saba Saba?
Because Saba Saba is pretty much commemoration of Saba Saba. I know it's coming. I don't think Kenyans are angry right now, especially to be so disregarded and to be threatened, and there's still no accountability of any kind or manner. Again, I won't be in the streets, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I support people coming out.
But aufilu wataenda kutua kabisa kusahizi wamepatia a license to kill. So I feel like this will be the first time where one of them kills more than one person. Usikumbuka they've already released the video. They're saying Gen Z madness. And Saba Saba inakuja basa shida Saba Saba, a few of the people pushing it ni kina Wanjigi, which now makes it not look like an organic thing.
Yes, yeah.
But okay, wacha tuone kile kita happen.
Yeah, let's just wait and see.
Kazi safi.
Yeah.
Na appreciating it, like when I see we used to be so apolitical come to content creators, influencers, artists. We used to be very apolitical, so right now it's good to see everyone involved and people starting to realize that ni siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya.
True.
And hopefully we sort of understand that we need to move away from these tags and these
we can't continue like this. I said one day you'll wake up and find your ears are gone. And Sarikali will be like, what do you mean? Tomorrow we're taking your feet. Because think about it, everything. If you can't live in a house and you're not sure if tomorrow it will be there, what's going to step
It's your house.
Like when does it stop?
Kitu yako.
Yes.
Itakujata gari. Utakunanua Range Rover unapata msea mingia.
Vibaya sana.
Like it's crazy. Alafu nini pia kitu moja lazima ni confess. Unajua kuna time uli retweet Iko Nini. After go like Maureen usikiza Iko Nini. Then nikaanza kufikiria dem need kuminvite. Alafu niko zile za huyu atakata kuja.
So not me.
Asante sana kwa kuja.
Me I've always like I'm such a huge fan. Even I met Gashira I was in uni with him.
Gashira. Yes.
The next time you see him afumwambia nataka kukuja, not so long ago. So when you sent me the invitation, I was so thrilled. I looked forward to today.
Okay, and it's been a great one. It's close to 3 hours.
Yes.
So asante. Asante sana.
Karibu to beat nini record.
Alafu ni interesting kwa watu wajui 480 episodes nimedu bila dread. You're the first person nimeinterview bila dread.
New
the
beginnings.
First podcast nimefanya like as a podcast episode bila dread tumefanya na wewe because even akina Ian RAPCHA if they're seeing me they're seeing me size in person. So nini so
I'm
for
honored.
a new whatever. I had dreadlocks for so long. I felt like it's time maybe to move on. I'm not even sure kanta zirudisha tena.
I hope umeziweka.
And meziweka. But dreadlocks zinakuwaga they're easy to start with but kuzimaintain.
True.
Wagani stress alafu so kumekuwa hiyo. So ni episode 481. So kama kawaida vile susemaga like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema Iko Nini.